Okay, so today is April 12th, 2021, and this is our Mighty Morsels training. Today we're talking about relationship selling, and we have the privilege of having our presenter, Advanced Director Valarie Fish. So, Valarie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm so super excited. And I'm going to start by sharing my screen. If I can find the right buttons. We practiced this. Okay. Can y'all see my screen? Okay. So I want to start. I want you to kind of look at this. And I want you to think about how many junk mails you get, emails that you get every day. So I personally get an average of 6 to 10 from every company that I've ever ordered from and ever in my life. And every morning when I check my email, I hit delete, delete, delete. The only ones that I save are the emails from someone I know. Your customers are getting the same thing. And so what makes you different? Phone calls from a number I don't recognize, those don't get answered. Texts from somebody that I have no relationship with, those get deleted. So how can you be different? People do not like to be sold to. It's annoying. And we do not want to be the annoying person. So how do we learn to talk to strangers without being annoying? And that is what I want to talk about. So let me go back to my screen for a minute. I'm going to read my script because if I don't, I have a tendency to chase rabbits and say more things than I should. Um, so the thing that makes you different and the thing that will help you build loyalty among your guests and your customers is to build a relationship and to be genuine with people. Relationships build trust, and trust builds loyalty. So in all of your connections, you have to let your personality show through. That's whether it's in your show outlines or your comments or your private messages. And so if you're using someone else's outline, there is a possibility of a disconnect when you switch from that outline to the one-on-one contact. Your shows have to reflect your personal brand. This is just an example. I am not a fan of emojis. If a message starts or ends with more than one emoji, I just like tune it out. That's just me. So if I borrowed a post from someone and there's a ton of emojis in it, I'm going to take all those out because that's not my personality. And when I switch to the one-on-one, I'm not going to be using tons of emojis. So that will show through if I'm one person on the party and another person in a private message. The most you're going to get from me is a thumbs up or a smiley face. You have to use your own voice in everything that you post. So I'm going to share my screen again because I have 3 points that about relationship selling. There we go. And there's 3 key points to building a relationship. I'm going to tell you those 3 and then we'll get some practical examples. So the first thing is you have to introduce yourself and you have to find something that you have in common. You need to respond to whatever a person says, whatever it's the conversation, and you have to ask a question. This needs to be an open-ended question, not something that's just a flat yes or no. And then it's very important. You need to offer them something of value. I could give you 100 examples of how this works in everyday life, but we want to focus on how to make this work in your online Pampered Chef business. So you have to figure out what you have in common. It's the very reason why strangers talk about the weather or the price of gas. We have that in common. If you can connect with people, like you have where they're from or their kids, or you have the same school system or something, you can connect with the current state of affairs. Always try to avoid politics, because if there's anything that can disconnect people, it's it's arguing about something they don't agree on. Um, but everybody in your world has this COVID thing in common right now. You can ask a simple, how is everybody in your world doing with all this COVID mess? That immediately gives you something that you have in common. Um, so you have to find a way, you have to find an excuse or a way to be able to send a private message. We're going to talk about some of those specifics in a minute, but once you have your private message opportunity, then you're going to introduce yourself. And in your intro message, you're going to call that person by name. And you're going to, if you're reaching out to someone in a party, you're going to want to include that party name and that host name in your first chat so that they know who you are and they know how, because to you, everything about the party is happening in your life, but to in their life, that's not what's happening. They don't know what's going on unless you know, make that connection. So hopefully you've identified what you have in common, and in the party, those are really easy things to find because you can connect through your host, through mutual friends, through comments or posts, if they place an order or if they don't place an order, favorite products, recipes. Every post that you put on your party should have some way that you can connect to the people who comment or respond. Um, any path to switch to a private conversation. In that conversation, always ask a question. It does not have to be a Pampered Chef question off the bat. The goal is to have a back and forth. You want to play ping pong with your um, conversation, not golf. If you're playing golf, then that ball is gone and you may not ever see it again. But ping pong, back and forth. So in your um, conversation, they are expecting you to try and hard sell them something. That's what they're used to. And so I'm going to teach you to do the opposite. And that's going to pay off in the end. It takes a little bit more time, but building a relationship always takes a little more time and it's worth it. Um, I've got some wording that I'm going to share with you. And I want to say thank you to Amanda Jackson because she's going to post them in the chat. So that if you want to take a screenshot, it'll be on the screen, or you can copy and paste from the chat, whatever works for you. So you're going to respond to every comment in your Facebook party with something more than a thumbs up, and you're going to find a connection. The more you interact with guests, the more they will post. And the more you compliment them and make them feel important, the more they will respond to you. So we know that you have a host in common. So in your groups, if you go to the message or the members, you can see all the members that have joined the group. And what you can do is a welcome post. So I do this welcome post once a day for all of my parties. And I do it through the Facebook members page. It's going to tag all the new members. And I'm going to put a welcome there and ask a question. I'm going to say, if you tell me how you know the host, tell me something about her that I might not know. And everybody who comments gets a prize. And I'll tell them that in the thing. Everybody that comments gets a prize. Or if I don't know them, if I do know them, then I'm going to change it a little different. I'm so glad you're joining Carol's Fast and Fresh party. Let's start with the game. Tell us how you know the host. Only make one statement a lie and one statement the truth, and see if I can guess which is which. So just something to get them to comment, and then you can switch to a private message. Another thing you can do is check to see if you have any mutual friends. And the way you do that is you hover over the member's name. It'll open the little drop box and it'll tell you whether you have how many mutual friends you might have. And all you have to do is go check, you know, a little bit, and you can see they might have some really close friends to you. They might be friends with someone who had a show, you know, a year ago or a month ago or whatever. So, and you find some way that you can make that connection. So you might say, oh my goodness, look at all our mutual friends. Have I met you before? Or how are we not friends already? Or something. You don't make up something. Make sure that it's something that's, you know, true. So the next connection that you have on a Facebook party is with your games and engagement posts. This one was really hard for me. Carol knows this was really hard for me because I'm not a games person. Um, I really don't care how many M&Ms are in the manual food processor. I don't care. And that just annoys me. I want substance in whatever we're talking about. But sometimes those stupid games are a way to make a connection because you can take that stupid game and you can say, I'm going to send you a hint. So they know to be looking for a message from you because you're going to send them a hint to the game. So when they comment, tell you they think there's 400, you tell them less or more or whatever. Anything to start a conversation. Anyone that you reply with, tell them you're going to send them a hint, get the conversation going. Anyone who wins, anyone who participates, you offer a gift to anyone who will private message you their answer to a trivia question. You can make it about something in the party, some product post. Personally, I like to introduce myself with I go live to introduce myself in all my parties. And I'll say, at some point, I'll say I've been with Pampered Chef for 14 years. And so then I'll have the host post a trivia question later in the day that says, private message Valarie, how many years has she been in Pampered Chef? And they'll send me a private message. Now I've got a connection that I can give them a prize. All my prizes for all these activities are e-cookbooks or recipes because those are all free. Bonus tickets, bonus points towards a grand prize, something like that. I'm not giving out anything that's costing me anything. Because the main thing is that I make a connection. So you give them a cookbook, give them two choices so that they have to talk to you. Do you want one for one pot meals or backyard fun? And they have to answer you. Then you say, oh, that's great. I love that one. It's a PDF. Do you want it in an email or would you like me to put it in Messenger? And then make sure they can open it okay. See if they want to look at page 4 and tell them that's your favorite recipe or something to keep the conversation going. There are lots of ways to turn engagement posts into conversations. You have to find something in common, make a connection, ask a question. Okay, the next obvious one is a thank you for your order message. So when the host posts a thank you, you comment and you tell them that you're going to be messaging them with a shipping status. Because you know what they ordered, you have the list of what they ordered, and you know when it's going to ship out. So you can message them, ask them in the post, is messenger or text better? And then start that conversation. Thanks so much for your order on Carol's party. And talk to them about their products they order. Is this the first time you've ordered a stone? Because you want to follow up with service. If they've never ordered a stone, they need to know how to, treat a stone. If they do have a stone, then they know you need to tell them that these are new stones and give them some practical information that they can use. You want them to know that you're not there just to sell them something. And once you sell them something, then the relationship is done. You are there to make a connection with them. Let them know, on as soon as they order, by the way, your order is going to ship in 3 to 5 business days. Did you know that you're only $14 away from getting the free shipping? I didn't know if that was something you might be interested in. You're offering them something of value. This is not about you. This is about them. Um, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this next one because you can go to Dash and look at the customer care overview. They have really great information about the 2-day, 2-week, 2-month follow-up. What I do, these are just my scripts of what I say. 2 days after the order, usually I have a shipping status update. I'm like, hey, I got your shipping status update and your order's going to arrive on this day. Be sure to open the boxes. And I tell them that, to let me know if everything arrives okay. That's an invitation for them to talk to me, to reply to me. After 2 weeks, I'll say, hey, I'm just checking to make sure your products from Carol's show are behaving like they should. Do you like your new stone? Starting a conversation. 2 months later, I'll say, hey, I hope you're still enjoying your products you got from Carol's. I have some good news and some great news. Which do you want first? Now, there's a possibility that people will not respond to you. That's okay. You can't take it personal. People are busy. People have things going on. But the more you have built a relationship, the more likely they are to respond to you. So I'm going to tell you the good news and the great news. The good news is always about the host special for the current month, any sales that's going on in the current month. The great news is you have openings on your calendar for them. You're saving a date for them. That's good news and great news. Now, if for some reason you missed the 2-day, 2-week, 2-month window, your all is not lost. I want you to think about how to check in anytime within a year, because all of Pampered Chef products have at least a 1-year warranty. So you can tell them, hey, I'm checking in to see how your products are behaving. Can you believe it has been 8 months since Carol's party or 10 months since Carol's party, and everything PC has at least a 1-year warranty. I like to check before that time runs out. And then reconnect the same way you connected before, through the host or through something that you have in common. Then you offer them the good news and the great news. Always the good news and the great news. So you can use these same methods with people you have not previously contacted with, just back up. You can also want to connect with all the people that didn't order from the party. You can still connect with them. I want to share with this with you. Zig Ziglar said that you can get everything you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Your goal is to offer your customers something they need. A tip for using a specific product or a recipe to go with their order. Once you've made that connection, you can move in to then offer them something that's even more beneficial to them. And I hope that you know that the thing that would be most beneficial to them would be the business opportunity that Pampered Chef offers. So I would say, I have really enjoyed getting to know you. Have you ever thought about doing what you do? I'm thinking I'd love to have someone as fun as you on my team, because we've built a relationship. If there's more things on your wish list, I think you'd love earning them for free along with making some extra money. Have you ever thought about having your own business? Now, if they say no, which we know most of them will say, no, thank you, or no, but you've built a relationship and you can say, that's okay. Because it is okay if they say no. If circumstances change and you ever think about making some extra money on the side, promise me that you'll think of me first. How do I know they're going to think of me first? Because we've developed a relationship. I didn't pop in just to sell them something. I came in and built a relationship with them. So they're going to think about me. So the next, if they say no, you switch to the next most beneficial thing, And that is, I'm glad you found what you needed on Carol's party, and I'm really glad I got to meet you. As you were shopping, did you see anything you'd rather get at half price or maybe even free? If it's someone that did not place an order, you can say, I'm so glad you had fun with Carol's online party. I bet your circle of friends would love to get together, keep the fun going. How about we set you up a party of your own? We can do a different theme, more recipes and tips. Interested? If they say no, that's okay. Always let them know, because I have people that say, I'm so sorry, no, I don't want to do that. Don't be sorry. I just want to help you get what you need most. So you want them to have a favorable feeling toward you, so that when you reach out to them again in 2 to 3 months, they have the experience with you that says, you know what, this person cares about me more than making a sale, more than recruiting. They want to know that I'm getting what I need, and they will take your call. They will open your message, because they know that your purpose in messaging them is not to get something from them. It's to offer them something of value. So my best advice when reaching out, make it personal, but don't take it personal. If someone does not respond to your attempts to connect, that is okay. Assume that they just don't know how amazing you are. That's what I always assume, that because I'm amazing. And if they don't want to talk to me, or for whatever reason, it has to be because they just don't know how amazing I am. I know that there are people, there are things in this world, there are people that are hurting, there are people that have so many things that are so much more important than Pampered Chef at the moment. And we have to be sensitive to those things. If you make a connection to somebody, before I message someone, I'll look back and see what our previous conversations were. Sometimes I'll pop over to their Facebook page and tell them congratulations on their new grandbaby or their new job or whatever's happening in their world, because I want them to know that I'm a real person, that I really care about them, and it's not about me. Because if you help enough people get what they want, then you'll get what you want.
Yay, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh.
I tried to be short. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That was a lot to take in. I don't know about you, but I have like copied and pasted pages of these words. So we do have a little bit of time left for some questions. Does anyone have a question for Valarie? If you're in a quiet place, feel free to unmute.
I know one question that everybody's wanting to ask, but they're just too scared to. How do you get them to respond to your, are you private messaging them? Or are you talking to them in the park? How are you getting them to message you back if you're not friends?
The first thing that I do is offer them a gift. If I offer them a prize, they're more likely to respond. And a lot of times I won't friend them until we have had 3 or 4 back and forth conversations. I'll tell them in the group, hey, I'm fixing to message you about your prize, or I'm fixing to message you a hint or something, and then switch over to private message. If they're expecting something from me, then they're more likely to respond to me. And I make sure I let them know that, I'm switching over there to offer them something.
Thank you
And
very much,
sometimes,
Valarie.
they don't respond. And if they don't respond, I just know that it's because they don't know how amazing I am.
Love that. Love it. Thank you, Joanna. Anyone else have a question for Valarie?
The one thing that I was copying and pasting also, the one thing that there was there was one slide that we didn't, I don't think, get the words for, and it's a little bit different. It's the 2 week, the 2 day, the 2 week, and the 2 month. It's different than Dash. So I have the Dash one, but I liked yours if you're able to, or if Amanda can post those words. I liked those.
I can post them somewhere.
Well, I think Amanda's still with
Did I
us.
have those? Amanda, did I send you those?
It was
Probably.
the one right before the good news and the great news.
In the meantime, while we're looking for that, anyone else have a question?
Yeah, hi. This is Lori. I'm still fairly new. I'm still in my 90 days, but I've been going to every possible training opportunity that's been available. And I feel like I'm implementing all of these great tools, but I can't get anybody to say yes for recruiting. Like and even I get people that bite on it, and I'm having my director help me with the verbiage so I know I'm not screwing it up, and I just can't close anything. And it's very disheartening to not be able to close on any of these people.
Valarie, do you mind if I take this one?
Go right ahead.
Because I can definitely relate, Lori. I can tell you that in my first 7 months in the business, so you're only in the business for less than 90 days. In my first 7 months in the business, I couldn't even get anyone to ask me for more information. But here's what I learned from that. I learned that there's 2 ways to look at that. You can say, wow, I stink at recruiting. Or you can do what I chose to do, which is say to myself, wow, I am really, really good at not recruiting. So I need to do something completely different from what I was doing. And that, when I took that attitude, I started recruiting, and within 6-7 weeks, I promoted to director. So hang in there, Lori, hang in there. Okay. All right. What, if anyone has a really quick question, we probably have time.
Carol, it's Carrie Burke. I have one. Valarie, you message every single person in your party, even if they're not friends with you. Is that correct? I am getting
Yes.
some breakthrough. Are you getting some breakthrough with people responding back to you?
It probably, I would say, because I just started messaging like everybody in the group, because we learned that not too long ago, that I was like, oh, well, I could message the people who didn't order. Oh, and so I just started doing that. And I would say probably half of them I never hear back from. But I would say that it's like I told somebody else, if you have, 15 people, it's better to have 15 real connections than 50 people in the party that won't talk to you.
That's exactly right. You nailed it, Valarie.
It's
That
the
is
quality of the
exactly right.
connection. It's the quality of the connection. I mean, we want quantity in our parties, but only so that we can get those quality connections.
That is exactly right. And that is a fabulous note to end on. This was recorded. I bet that you are going to want to listen to this again, because there was a lot of fabulous information. Can we all give Valarie another big round of applause? Thank you. Thank you. This was awesome. And the recording will be available, so I will post it on our Team Roar page. So bye for now, guys.
Thank you. Good